Hi, hi everyone. Hi, my name is Jing. So welcome to my this final presentation. So I call my project, finally I call it Planet 234. So Planet 234 is a mobile game that uses the shift of perspective between 2D and 3D as a mechanism to show the fluid intertwined relationship of time and dimensional space. So there are two elements. The first one is time. So time have two properties, absoluteness and relativity. For the absoluteness, that means time is always flowing and always goes forward. And for the relativity, it's like we always judge how time flows, maybe by the speed of the moving object and also by our own motion, our own feeling, because it's held by the individual, by the observer. So as for the time, I got many inspirations from this novel, Einstein's Dreams. It's fictionalized how Einstein has this fantasy dreams while his period of working on the theory of relativity. So this book gives many imaginative possibilities of how time how time laws existing in different parallel worlds. And another one is the dimensions. So for dimensions, there are many explanations. I'll just put two of them. So the 1D, 2D, 3D, and sometimes people put 4D, that is position in time to it. So based on these two things I want to research on, I found two precedents. One is Face. It's a puzzle platformer game set in 3D world, but the players need to rotate between the 2D views to solve the game's puzzles. So that means it's a transformation of 2D and 3D games. And Breed is actually a 2D platform game, but it's add a more dimension that is 4D. It add a time to it, so it allows the players to rewind the time again and again. So you will never die. You just to reach your goal. So that comes to my thesis: how to combine the idea that space and time are fluid, intertwined, and also it can be affected by our motion. So I try to use the shift of the perspective as a mechanism to change through the time and space. So I have these two images. The first one is my game aesthetics in 2D, and another one is 3D. In my story settings, the time only flows in the 2D, but it will stops in 3D. So the story is like the planet is rolling like a ruler. It consists of a few layers. Each layer has a different rolling speed. You see the higher layer rotates quickly, but the lower layers rotates very slowly. So the closer to the core, the slower it is, and it shows in the 2D and the 3D perspective can be transferred by the player. And also 2D worlds also flow of time, while time is frozen in the 3D world. If you see the time slider, you will see when it transfers to the 3D, the time will stop. The story, it's also a story. The goal for the character, so the character is a little small in this picture. The goal for the character is to reach all kinds of the houses in layers to collect the time fragments to tune the stop time in 3D back again. So how to let the players go and pass to the next higher layer? So you try to use the transformation of the 2D and 3D. And how to go through the layers. You just go through by these waterfalls. If you jump to the boat, the boat can stop next to one of the waterfalls, it will take the character go up and down. So about the interaction, I use the accelerometer to, if you install the game on your phone, you just turn over your phone once to change the view. That's from the side view to see how it played. So about interaction, there is a big touch control in the right corner. So the corner is to let you hold and drag to control the jumping power, which will show in the left. The max power will reach the highest point of this slider, and also control the direction within this blue control. And if you release it, the character will fall. This one, this black one is the character. And the time slider, you need to make each action within a time limit, or you will die. And also, if you you need to jump above these fishes. If you fall into the ocean, you will die. But you can always restart. This is a demo. That's it. I want to talk more about my process. So first I got this sketch. I want to make 5 layers, but based on time or something, I only make 3 layers now. And I hope to make all this game. If you look it in 3D view, it will looks like a landscape painting. So I got few aesthetics, and then the sketch map, and some iterations. The first is making a paper prototype like a ruler to see how this mechanism work, and then a very rough prototype, and then the iterations. This iteration is only in the 2D, and everything was in 2D. So, and then finally it goes to the demo I showed. And this is a playtest I have to show the playtesters on the mobile devices. And I got some feedbacks like maybe like how to like the jump power slider to combine with the big control, so people can see it more straightforward. And also how to make the characters color to make it more obvious like that. So thank you.
Well, first, I think this is really interesting. I began to understand, as you were going through the demo, I began to understand what the back and